I still remember the sound, the click of metal closing around my son's wrists. It wasn't loud. It was soft, almost gentle, like betrayal prefers to whisper rather than scream. He looked at me with wide, confused eyes, his small arms pulled behind him, his voice trembling as he said, "Mama, what did I do?" I didn't answer, because I knew the truth. He'd done nothing. My sister had dialed the police, shaking with self-righteous fury, feeding them lies about the boy becoming violent. And my parents, God. They stood on the porch, watching it happen. My mother casually sipping her tea. My father nodding along like it was discipline. "Don't react, sweetheart," my mother murmured without looking at me. Spoiled kids deserve that. I didn't scream. I didn't collapse. I didn't chase the police car down the street. I just stood still, frozen, silent. And silence, that was where my revenge was born. It's almost laughable now, how much I used to love my sister. 2 years older, sharper, louder, she commanded rooms effortlessly while I stood in her shadow. As kids, she protected me, stood up for me, told me she'd always be on my side. When my son was born, she was the first to hold him after me. She cried harder than I did. She promised she'd never let anything happen to him. Promises are just weapons disguised as comfort, because somewhere between then and now, jealousy carved itself into her bones. My independence, my career, my son's love for me, my parents' increasing affection for him. She didn't say it out loud, but envy doesn't need words. It drips, slow and poisonous, into everyday moments until everything tastes bitter. Months before the arrest, I started noticing the cracks. My sister whispering with my parents when I walked into the room, conversations ending abruptly. My son avoiding her, saying she'd look at him weird, like he was a problem she was trying to solve. One day, I found a message on my mother's phone. A text from my sister. Her son needs discipline. You're too soft with him. If she won't control him, someone has to. Another message. We need to show her who actually knows how to parent. That's when the dread solidified. That's when I started watching quietly, carefully, every move they made. And that's how I caught the setup. My sister leaving things broken around the house and blaming my son. My parents believing every word she said. And then the incident she orchestrated. A neighbor's window mysteriously shattered right after she sent my son outside alone. The police were called with impressive speed. I didn't confront her. I didn't argue with my parents. They expected emotion. They expected chaos. Instead, I gave them nothing. A blank canvas. And on it, I painted slowly, deliberately, stroke by stroke. First, I contacted a lawyer quietly. Then a therapist for my son and documentation. Then the school for behavior records proving he'd never shown aggression. Then my sister's landlord, turns out she'd been behind on payments, hiding it from the family. Then her workplace HR just asking routine questions that triggered a standard internal check. She didn't know any of this yet. I didn't want to destroy her. Not at first. I just wanted the truth. But truth, once unleashed, has a way of choosing its own victims. The court hearing for the juvenile complaint she filed was scheduled for a Tuesday morning. She walked in smug, wearing her favorite navy blazer, expecting my son to be painted as a monster. I entered with a folder so thick it made a sound when I set it down. Evidence. Statements. Records. Every lie she'd layered peeled back. My lawyer spoke the words I'd been waiting to hear. We request charges be dismissed with prejudice due to malicious intent. And then we laid it all out, her fabricated stories, her pattern of hostility, her motive. When the judge turned to her and asked, "Is there anything you want to say regarding these allegations against you?" She froze. The confidence drained from her face. My parents shifted uncomfortably, realizing too late that they had backed the wrong child. Case dismissed. Record expunged. And then, the counterblow, my official complaint against her for filing a false police report. She didn't see that part coming. Not even when the officer approached her after the hearing. Not even when the cuffs clicked around her wrists the same way they had around my son's. My son watched. And this time, he smiled. People think revenge feels loud, explosive, chaotic. But mine was silent. Measured. Clean. My parents avoid me now, unsure how to face the daughter who stopped trying to earn their approval. My sister blames me for her downfall, but deep down, she knows she built the cliff she fell from. As for me, I walk lighter, not because I won, but because I finally stopped pretending we were family. Sometimes destruction isn't cruelty. Sometimes it's the only way to rebuild.